The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Whether you're new to sales or a lifetime veteran, the Blackbelt Sales Podcast will sharpen your sword and guide you to master the art of sales. And now, here's your host, the ninja himself, Gene Slade.
What is up, my ninjas? Good to see you today. Gene Slade in the house on the Lead Ninja Black Belt Sales Training and Marketing Podcast. It's actually a business podcast as well. Super stoked that you're joining us. We've got a few people on here already. If you could just do me a big favor, please. We're going to drop some massive gold bombs here from a startup company out of the Atlanta, Georgia area. If you're a technician and you actually want to know what it's like to start your own company, maybe even to be kicked out and start your own company, you want to stay tuned. Give me a live in the comments, please. If you're watching it live, or if this is a replay, please just type replay in the comments. It's really the least that anyone could do, right? For being able to sit in on some of the gold that's happening with my man, Richard Shaw Jr. Say what's up, Richard.
What's going on, guys?
So this is the grind. Like, this is the, I don't know if antithesis is the right word. I'm not even that smart, right? But dude's at an install right now and breaking out to help you and you and you and you. So give me a boom in the comments for Richard Shaw. Richard, welcome to the podcast, brother. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So, bro, you've got a really cool and interesting journey through, from when you started. I mean, you can share as much as you want or as little as you want, right? I know more than most people probably know. And transparency is really kind of one of the keys here for us to really make a connection with the audience. So please, thank you, Corey. Thank you, Greg. I appreciate it. I see Facebook user. I don't know who that is right now, but thank you guys for putting live in the comments if you're watching live. Thank you for putting replay if you're on a replay, okay? So, Richard, please just give us a little bit of your story, maybe 5 minutes or so, maybe less. Like, how did you come into this world of HVAC? How did you end up becoming a business owner?
Well, I got in actually to HVAC from my sister, Nicole. She was actually a dispatcher for a nationwide company. It was actually a small company before we grew. She got me a job there. I started as a CSR, actually working, picking up the phone.
Whoa, CSR to business owner. Keep going.
And then I just grew to dispatcher, dispatch manager. I just kept going up the ladder. I just gave it all. I thought that would be like the most farthest I'd go with my career, pretty much.
So how much time did you spend as a CSR and then dispatcher and in these different roles?
3 months maybe, and then that was they started going out of the state. They branched out of state, and they actually moved me to open up their first acquired location in Dallas.
Okay.
So I moved for a year, and then I moved again out to Atlanta a year later, to start up a new from scratch location for the same company. I got that company started, made it a 5-star company as well, 5-star service, and then we separated, went our own ways.
Wait a minute, hang on. So it's okay for us to talk about some of the challenges that you went through as a technician, because there are a lot of technicians that watch this. So what happened at that company? We can't give out names or company names or anything like that, but I want to also help some of the business owners that are out there that attract talent like a Richard Shaw to help to avoid some of the pitfalls that company ended up going through with losing you. So what happened there?
It was just, I wasn't, being treated, I was being paid like shit, pretty much. And, they were paying me like if I was a dog, pretty much. And I was working, doing several different positions, national funding manager, as well as I was doing install manager. I was a service manager. I was the general manager, sales manager for the whole entire, that location, on top of running all the financing for the whole entire company nationwide, making sure we got funded for every, and that's, nationwide company, making sure every finance job every day got funded over $200,000 a day, pretty much. I did a lot of work for them, and I just kept going and going because I knew that, I was going to learn something that I was probably going to need in the future. Maybe not, maybe yes. But, it was just, I appreciate what they brought to me, what I learned from them. Now it's been time, I'm cool with them, very cool with them now, but, it was hard. It was hard to work for them. It was a very
It's
hard.
always good to not burn your bridges.
Yeah.
Okay? That one might go up in the comments here. Never burn your bridges, right? You never know when you're going to need somebody's help. Richard, that was one of the things that I was actually fired from my position as a general manager of like a $7-8 million company in Tampa before I started my company. And the reason I was fired is because they found out that I went and took my mechanical contractor's test and I passed it. I didn't I didn't even buy the books or anything like that. I just wanted to see what was on the test, and I accidentally passed this damn thing. And boom, I end up in the same position that you are because they were afraid I was going to end up taking their people and going out and starting a company, right?
Well, they fired me a week, a week after my dad died. It was a really hard time. I was in Miami. I went all the way to Miami to go and sell for them. And when I was there in Miami, the only reason why I went is because they had my replacement training up there and at the same time. So when I went back to Atlanta, that knew my replacement fired me. So, and that was a really hard time. I was like, I lost everything. My mom, it was, I think I got fired May 1st, around May of last year. And then June 1st, my mom came up there, my birthday, and I'm like, my dad just died. And I had no money. I was negative $2,000 in my bank account, before, I ran into this guy in a gas station. He said that he had the hardest job in the world. It was the hardest job in the world. It was torture. He had two, he said he wanted to take it. And I understand why they didn't want to take it, but he was paying 20 grand for whoever did it. He actually needs 2 coolers right now for me. He's begging me to do it, and I don't want to do it. But he, he was the one that started my company. He told me, I want you to do it. I want you to be the one to do it. It was 2 package units and on the rooftop of a gas station, and but they had built an A roof on top of that flat roof. So I had to take apart that package unit piece by piece and walk downstairs piece by piece.
Sounds like a job you wouldn't want to even take today, right?
And that package unit was being the condenser. It had a condenser, like a real condenser from a residential unit, sending the freon to the actual unit, that package unit, and it had only the fan was working in the actual package unit. It was the craziest job ever. I mean, all new ductwork in a falling, suspended ceiling. It was bad, but took me 3 weeks to do it. I had like 3 people come up and help me from the same company. I had like 2 people come up from the same company I used to work for. They left me. They're like, "Oh, you're crazy. You're crazy. I'm gone." And then I just kept going and going. For 2 days, I sat up there and I cried. I was, "Oh my God, I can't do this. I can't do this."
It reminds me of my very first service call that I ever ran was for my own air conditioning company that I started. Hey man, if you could move just a little bit closer to the house because we're getting some choppiness on the audio and I want everybody to be able to hear you. Plus, this is going on, podcasts, Apple, Spotify, all that other stuff later. I want to make sure that everybody's able to hear you. So you're going around the country for this national company that kind of just splashed into the market 7-8 years ago. I know the name. A lot of you guys would know the name. You go out to start a new branch for them. You're not feeling like you're being compensated properly. Some other shit happened, and you ended up $2,000 upside down in a city that you didn't know, and you're just essentially almost stranded there, right? What's next?
Exactly. I mean, from the money I made from this job, I just, I opened up the company. I worked almost, I shouldn't say this, but I worked without a license, for, a year. I had, finally got a qualify me from Texas. He's a good friend of, thank God, I just made money. I just, I made sure all my customers were taken care of. I made sure they were taken care of so they wouldn't, look me up and say I wouldn't have a license. But, I was motivated, man. All I did was it was working every time. Everything I would do, and this is what I learned from the company I was with. I watched the owner, everything he did, and he's an intelligent man. Like I said, he's very smart. He knows what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? He you know, I no hard feelings to him at all about anything that happened, but you know, I followed a lot of things that he's done and his marketing skills, and I've you know, blown up. You know, it's just blown up for me right now. We have so many calls coming in. I can't even tell you. It's
So May
crazy.
last year, you've been in business for almost a full year, right?
And
The
7
first
days
part of it, and I just, you know, the whole running unlicensed, I appreciate the transparency. I actually was unlicensed for like 2.5 months when I started my business. I was fired with a 5-week-old baby boy, $100 to my name. And like it was bad. I took out as many credit cards as I could, and once I ran out of credit cards and I needed to generate money to pay for those credit card bills, I was like, "Fuck it, I got to do it." Right. So I ended up going and just starting to run calls. I started to market, and I actually got caught like 6 weeks in by a client. She's like, "I just looked you up. Your license is this other guy's license." I'm like, "Yeah, well, he's allowing me to use his license." She was like, "Well, that's not actually going to work." And so she's like, if I were you, I would go up to Tallahassee and I would camp out up there until you get your damn license. And it's exactly what I did. And 48 hours later, I had my license. I found some people up there to help me. So,
You know,
anyhow, a year later, what's the business look like now, Richard? Because a lot of people are out there considering a startup. First question, before you tell me what the business looks like, has it been easy?
No, it has not been easy at all. This is not an easy thing to do. You have to be dedicated. You have to want it. You're gonna, like I said, I've done, you know, you have to, like what Grant Cardone said. It's one thing that you have to be a freak about what you do, and that's one thing that stuck with me when I read it. Like I said, I got that from the company I used to work for. I did all his sales training, and that's one thing that that stuck with me. You have to become literally a freak about what you do, and you know, this is all that I do right now. It'll pay off in the end. I have, you know, had nothing. Almost lost everything, and you know, I lost my father, and then you know, now I have 5 trucks on the road. I have a 20-foot trailer. You know, we have an office we just moved into about 3 months ago. You know, it's been, you know, really rewarding. It's been really good.
Give me a boom in the comments, guys. Give me a boom in the comments for Richard. Starting up a business with nothing, freaking nothing. You guys think that you need money. What you really need is freaking that inner X factor, that inner drive, that inner will to succeed. Right. So give me 2 challenges real quick, and then I'm gonna tell them where you're at. So you got 5 trucks, you got a trailer. I saw you putting package units on roofs the other day. What are 2 of the biggest challenges that you ran into? If you had a friend who's gonna start a business just like yours, what are the 2 pieces of advice that you'd give that dude? Start with 1.
If your customer doesn't pay you, do not take your unit back.
Yeah, you guys, once it's installed, you can't actually remove it. Once it's attached to the house, you can't remove it, even if they don't pay you. I remember that story. That was a funny story.
And then, you know, I mean, what is another obstacle? I mean, making ends meet. I just take risks. I mean, I don't even know what to say about that. The biggest.
What's a risk? What's a risk because everybody's definition of risk is different. What's a risk for Richard Shaw Jr.?
Like me, like getting into, you know, like I said, I started in the HVAC industry 3 years ago as a CSR. You guys hear this? 3 years. I started when I got, you know, just before I came to Atlanta, and I came to Atlanta in 2020 August. So I've been in the field. I got certified. I'm NATE certified and all that stuff. But, you know, to be in the field, I pretty much didn't know too much. Everything I've learned from YouTube and, you know, and asking, friends, anybody or to watching.
One of the things that you have that some other people don't have is you've been with a big ass company that had 100 employees and you made friends there. And now that you're out in the field, you've got resources to reach out to, you guys. This is one of the things you need to know when you start your own business. I had a guy named Jared Falk, who was a NATE certified technician. I managed the company he worked at, right? I was a sales guy, but I really didn't understand all of the technical stuff. And when I ran my own business, when I started my own company, I had to go out and do it. And I had resources like him that I could pick up the phone before I hired a master mechanic, right? That could help me. when you guys get out there, you're not just going to need technical resources. You're going to need marketing resources. You're going to need resources for accounting. You're going to need resources for all kinds of things, 100+ different things. And going back to the beginning of the video, if you burn your bridges, the beginning of this podcast, if you burn your bridges, you're not going to have those resources. So be careful the way that you exit a company. Stay friends with the owner. Be polite. Treat people the way you would want to be treated if you were the boss, right? Because those are massive resources that can help you later. One of the reasons I succeeded, Richard, was because I didn't burn my bridges, even though they fired me with a 5-week-old baby boy, a 50-mile non-compete, and $100 to my name. I still moved 120 miles south. I did things the right way, and I was able to reach back out to them and ask them for help when I ran through struggles. And you're gonna run through struggles, guys. You will never have a trouble-free moment in business.
They couldn't be happier for me. I actually spoke, they couldn't be happier for me. So I'm grateful for that. I'm glad they see that I could do just what he did. So, but like I said, I appreciate them. I am who I am because of that company, regardless of what they fired me or not. So
I am as well. And that was the respect that I think a human being needs to have to be a successful business owner. You need to respect the people that got you from where you were to where you're at. And that was why I didn't burn my bridge there. And I said, listen, guys, I'm not happy with this. You don't need to fire me right now, but I understand. I'm going to honor my word. I'm going to go outside of my non-compete zone. I'm going to go do my own thing. And then within 3 weeks, 4 weeks, no, I'm sorry. I think it was like 8 weeks because it was right after I started my first radio show. I sent a text message to my boss. It was a 2-hour radio show. I got 27 leads for tune-ups, right? 27 leads in 2 hours. And I texted him. I was like, bro, I just did my own radio show. I got 27 leads in 2 hours. He's like, bro, congratulations. Next thing I know, he's sending me a gift. And inside the gift, the letter says, your path to success is going to be much shorter than mine. Call me anytime. Right? If you treat people right, guys, they will take you to the top. Same with your employees. You better treat your employees right.
That's my problem. That's my obstacle. Is building a team has been a very big obstacle for me. That's there you go. That's my second one. Building a team is hard. It's hard. That's a hard.
Well, and the reason for you right now is because you're wearing all the hats.
Yeah.
Right. How much revenue are you tracking at right now? What did you do in June? How much revenue?
Did June? Almost $79,000.
$79,000. So you're running at about $1 million pace right now.
I'm for the year in 7 days will be 1 year. I am at $789,000 that I've made.
Cool. In your very first year, but now you're tracking at about $1 million a year, and it's going to continue to go up from there, guys. Most contractors out there that I talk to, been in business 10 years, are barely breaking $1 million. I say most, that's more than half, right? In a year, you've gotten to that. However, if you were just selling for another company, I bet you could sell $2-3 million a year without a problem.
Oh yeah, because I would be just selling only.
Right? This is another tip for you sales guys out there that are thinking about starting your own business. Richard could sell $3 million a year easy working for another company, but to do everything, to wear all the hats, you're going to be doing a third of what you probably otherwise could do. And then you got to figure out how to take off hats, pass them to other people, hire people. This is one of the rules typically of going into business for yourself, is to be well capitalized. And that's not something you had.
Nothing. I honestly, there's some months I every month, almost June and July have been months that I've gone into like cake. It's been like, wow. Yeah, it feels so good to go in with everything paid for. I have billboards up in the highways around here in Atlanta, a few of them. I'm just grateful. Everything it's going, it's happened. I thought that I was going to go under a few times, but I've made it. I've made it.
Well, that won't be the last time, bro.
Made it though.
And this is another tip for you guys out there. You want to be a good salesperson if you're going to start your own business, because you're going to have challenges, you're going to have problems, you're going to have situations where you start to pass things off to other technicians and salespeople and they're not performing, and you're going to have to make a payroll. And if you don't make payroll, your employees leave, and you're going to end up having to go out there into the field, and you're going to have to make shit happen. You're going to have to make miracles happen. You're going to have to save your company.
Get reviews, and put your customers first. I treat my customers like gold, every single one of them. If they're rich or they're
What
poor.
does that look like, though?
What do you mean?
Give us a tip. What does Richard Shaw say that treating a customer like gold looks like? What does that look like?
I give them everything that you say you're going to give them. Give it to them, and don't. I give them everything plus more. Sometimes I surprise customers. Just the other day, sometimes I give away things for free. Some old lady needed some Freon the other day. I say, no, don't even pay me. Just leave me a review. And she left me the best review ever. Sometimes, I gave away a Ecobee thermostat. So just right now, this install here, we didn't finish it on time. It's a double install, right? We didn't finish it in one day like we were supposed to. So I gave her 2 free Ecobee thermostats. Make them feel important. They like to see the owners involved. That's one thing that I did want my other company is that he was the owner of that company. He does not like being involved with the customers, and customers like to see the owner talk to them. They like, that's what I have been involved in every single install. I check them if I do it, or if I have my other installers do it, I always go there to check it. I walk through it with the customer. I check the temperatures through the vents, heat and cool. And I just, make them feel like, they're important, that I took my time out to get there, go to their house and collect the money, of course. But
Yeah.
But they like that.
I used to do the same thing, bro. I would go and walk through all my jobs, but I wasn't there just to walk through the job. I was there to get all the shit we hadn't sold before. I was there to get another $5,000 or $6,000 in indoor air quality. Because a buyer in motion tends to stay in motion, right? Especially if they're happy with the job that you've done for them. Hey, could you just level with me? Would you just share with me why you decided to not go with the Breathe Easy package when we did the install? Oh, it's just the money, Gene. Now I'm into a payment plan close. You know what I mean? Guys, you're missing out. You're missing out on money that's like just taking candy from a baby. It's like picking up the fruit off the ground. Hope you guys, if you guys are getting out of this, I need to see another boom in the comments. And if you're watching this live, please just type live in the comments. If you're watching on a replay, type replay. So you're running about $1 million a year. What is next for you?
What's next for me is, I'm ready to build a bigger team. I'm ready to build that team. I have enough saved that I could, get a full staff, office staff, install crews. I'm ready. I'm just hiring right now because we are.
If you're in Atlanta, how do they get a hold of you? If they're in Atlanta and they're interested in joining the team,
they get a hold of me. They can call. Our number is 470-797 Shaw 7429.
Do it again, one more time.
If you want to call me, our number is 470-797 Shaw 7429.
Because I think you said 407 the first time, so it's
470-797-7429.
Beautiful.
We have 401k. We have, after 90 days, we have full benefits after 90 days.
Wait a minute. You're a year in the damn business. You got a 401k?
I have everything set up for, I got
Bro, you're flying.
You got to take care of your employees, man. Like I said, you are
freaking flying.
And I pay them well. I
don't know that I've seen somebody be 3 years in the business and be as aggressive as you're being. Maybe one other person. I kind of feel confident, in everything. Everything's been working, so I just have to go in everything confident because what's the worst that can happen? I'm going to fail. I almost lost everything. What the hell can happen? That's all I think about everything. Push it all in the middle, all in.
That's it.
That's the entrepreneur spirit, man.
I love the HVAC industry. It's just been a great. I love my customers. I love talking to them. Some of them are a little too much, but more than that, I like what I do.
Guys, I'm going to give you one opportunity and one opportunity only to put a comment put a question in the comments for Richard. Okay, put a question down in the comments if you've got a question. If you're thinking about going out on your own, if you want to know the pitfalls and the struggles, either Richard or myself can help you with that right now. Before I ask him one last question, and then we're going to sign off. So if you've got that question, now is the time to put it in the comments. Our moderator will actually check it out, and if it's a good question, boom, we'll pop it up. Okay, cool. So one of my questions, what was the last question I was going to ask you? Sometimes I get like, spacey. It all freaking disappears. I know what it is. What is the number one, in your opinion, what is the number one absolutely most important skill to have if you're going to start a company?
Patience.
Patience.
Tolerance. Tolerance.
Tolerance.
You know, get ready. That's pretty much.
I would say maybe you're looking for the word perseverance.
You know,
Right?
it's not easy, man. It's not easy. You know, Gene, it's not easy. It's not easy.
So those are more mindsets. What skill is most important to have?
Yeah,
What
people.
could you not survive without in your business?
If I wasn't able to talk to anybody or talk to, my business would have never been where it is now. I have.
So are you talking about marketing or are you talking about sales right now?
Marketing. No, marketing is really for me. I mean, I could just, that's easy to get. Marketing is just online. Go, get Search Kings.
Well, maybe I need to hire you, right? Because
but
I mean, like I could use 10 times more clients than I've got right now.
I just think that we have to just be able to represent. I mean, be the face of your company. I mean, be somebody that represent your company. Be the face of your company. Be someone that's I don't know how to say it. Everybody that's been involved in the business with me, they love me. I mean, not trying to be conceited, but they I make them love me. When I walk in their house, I just walk in like I own the place. Like if they're my best friend already. Every time. It's not a show. It's just something normal. Hey, what's going on? I look around. I'm just making.
Sounds to me like communication is what you're trying to say.
There you go. Good answer. That's the one. Have good communication skills. Don't hold anything back. Give it your all. Just never.
Right. So we've got a comment. We've got a question down here, and one of our it says Facebook user because it's probably in one of our groups that's simulcasting right now, but they want to know. What is Richard Shaw's best marketing/advertising idea? What's the thing that's been most successful for you?
Do I say all what I use? I don't mind saying what I use for marketing.
This is where we help people, bro.
And if I get calls all day long, I know how to fill up my board for a full nationwide company if I wanted to. Search Kings, networks, my SEO company, Facebook. Instagram, just keep posting and posting and posting. What's it called? I don't like Angie's List, but they will give you some stuff, but they're too expensive. Thumbtack was how I first started, and they gave me the best, really good leads. Thumbtack, I tell you, they gave me really good leads.
But you got to be able to scale is the challenge, right?
And you have to win those.
Yeah, not only win them, but you got to be able to scale. And what I found in my business was that I was having to take on many, many marketing sources just to get an extra 10 leads a week or whatever. And you need 15 leads a week minimum just to add a new truck.
The Google Ads, the GLS, that I'm telling you by far.
What is GLS? Tell everybody what GLS.
Google Ads, ads.google.com.
See, guys, he doesn't even have it all figured out, right?
Search Kings. That's all I gotta say. They have made my phone ring like I can't even tell you.
Okay.
Ring, call them.
Awesome. I don't see any more questions in the comments, so that was a massive tip, guys. Look up Search Kings. I can't say that I endorse them, but Richard is saying that they've done something major for him. I've just never worked with them.
My summer has gone. They boosted it, and in all ways, I can't even tell you how.
Phenomenal. Richard, man, I really, really appreciate you taking the time out of the install that you're on right now to give back to our community. Massive, massive support for you in the future, brother. Let me know anything that you need. I'm here to help you. Okay. Guys, if you want more nuggets like this, if you need some help in training or coaching or marketing or your CSRs or anything that has to do with your business, I want you to feel free to reach out to me. Okay. You can contact me at leadninjasystem.com. leadninjasystem.com. There'll be a telephone there. You can call that 800 number. It probably still goes directly to my cell phone right now. Give it a shot. We'll see. But I'm willing to help you probably the first time for free. All right. Love you guys. Thank you, Richard. Man, have yourself a great one.
All right. Bye, guys.